Breaker Crunchers. It's Friday night in Phoenix, Arizona. We are the Couch Crunchers. Max and myself are here with you tonight. And we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place too. But first, I want to know,
No, we're
Max,
not.
how are you doing?
We talked
What are
about
we
it
talking
last
about?
week. We're talking about Army of the Dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was wondering why your name said A Not So Quiet Place. I was like, oh, maybe
Well,
he's
now I
making
got to change
reference
my
to-
name.
I thought you were making
Max,
reference
how
to
you
that
doing?
movie's loud.
Obviously, I am not in my 100% headspace right now. So
I am good. I'm doing well. I'm actually surprised I'm doing so well. I got my second shot of the COVID vaccine yesterday, and they say that one really knocks you out. But
yeah,
I've been good. I mean, my arm's been hurting really bad. And Lance and I, if you guys have seen on TikTok, there's this new thing where I don't use TikTok. Lance was telling me that some people are putting magnets where they get their shot, and the magnet will stick to your arm. And we were watching the Suns game last night. Go Suns, by the way. Beat the Lakers out of the playoffs. LeBron's first time losing the first round. But anyway, we tried it.
I wore my Phoenix movie shirt.
Yeah, but anyway, we tried it and it stuck. It worked. The magnet actually stuck to my arm. I was surprised. Yeah, we were like, oh well, maybe it sticks to every arm. Nope, we tried it on my left arm where the shot isn't, and it did not stick. So yeah, I'm doing well. Work was really busy. It was a weird week because we were off Memorial Day, and then I worked Tuesday, and then I was off Wednesday for my birthday, and then I had yesterday and today. But anytime I take a day off, it just kind of gets me behind. I've got great coworkers. They do their best to cover for me, but still just gets me. It gets me behind. So the last couple of days have been busy, but it's all good. How about you?
Good, man. I'm trying to nurse this cold because I'm supposed to go get my vaccine tomorrow, but I'm not going to go if I'm still sick. So I've been shoveling handfuls of vitamin C and drinking tea and everything else, just trying to get it done. My nose is a little congested and it sucks, man. At first I thought it was allergies, but I definitely think it's a cold.
If you have to reschedule it, you'll be fine. I mean, my appointment was supposed to be Thursday at 1, but I decided to go out to lunch with my brother, and we were running a little bit behind, and so I just rescheduled it right then and there for 2:30. So it's not as in demand as back in March when it was first opening up for people. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. If you're sick, you can reschedule it. I'm sure you can find someone to.
Which one did you do?
I did Moderna.
Yeah, I'm doing Johnson & Johnson. I only wanted to get shot once.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. But they weren't doing Johnson & Johnson by me. Yeah, and I didn't want to drive all the way out there for it. I just went to a Walgreens that's 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Well, the good news is Anna
now
will
I've got the microchip
tomorrow.
Yep. And they can keep track of me. Not like they couldn't already with this doohickey right here. But
that's what I tell people. I'm like, why are you so concerned about that? You got a phone in your pocket?
Yeah. Also, microchips don't get inserted into your body with vaccines.
If they have that technology to make something so small that it could be passed through a needle like that, I mean, they should be making computers that are the size of a thumb drive. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing that I do believe. I don't know if they have technology that good yet, but I do believe we have technology to make things better and smaller, but that companies know that they need to make it in increments so that they can make more money. I wouldn't be surprised if we could have way faster and more powerful computers for cheaper, but companies are like, nah, let's just give them a 10% increase, when they could do a 70% increase in power. That's my conspiracy Steve of the day.
I always feel like I'm not centered.
Also, should I get LASIK?
Are you thinking about it?
Not really. I just was listening to a podcast earlier today, and they were talking about LASIK. And
because
of this neck issue, I'm almost at my deductible for the year. So I'm like, what else should I do medically? But I don't know if my eye care would count towards the same deductible or not.
So my vision paid for some of it, $1,000 of it.
Yeah.
But every vision plan is different. So I would look into it. I mean, if you're almost at your deductible.
I mean, I'm still $1,000 away, but I'm kind of surprised. It's $3,000. I've already spent $2,000 in freaking medical bills because of this neck.
Well, how much do you spend on glasses every year?
Nothing. No, that's not true.
I mean,
every other year I'll get a new pair. Cost me $150.
Okay. So
it would take me 10 years.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I also kind of like the way I look with glasses. More than that.
Huh?
But I also like the way I look with glasses, so that's why I'm like, I don't know about getting LASIK.
But get fake ones.
Yeah, I could just for style. But like, it would be nice to not have to worry about it. I never forget them now. But when I first got them, I remember the movie sucked, so it didn't matter. But I got them, and then Transformers. I don't think it was the latest Transformers. It was the one before. No, it was Transformer 5 or 6, whatever. Last night, I think I went and saw that with our buddy Ben, and I forgot my glasses, and I was so mad because I had just gotten them like 3 days earlier. But that movie sucked. I fell asleep. It was so bad.
So my eyesight was so bad that I wore contacts and glasses, and my eyesight were so bad that they couldn't find contacts that fit my eyes anymore. And the only ones that kind of fit were $500 a year. So I was paying $500 a year for contacts because I already used everything I could use towards my glasses. And it just made sense for me to get LASIK. And it's the best thing I ever did. I wake up in the morning, I can see right away, and it's awesome, man. But, dude, so I kind of came screaming in here at like 6:58, right? Like 2 minutes before the show started. And that's because my wife and I turned on Sweet Tooth on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that just today.
It is fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah.
The trailer looked interesting. It looked like it's more of a kid's show, which isn't a bad thing. No, it's not.
No, I mean, it's not. It doesn't seem like it's aimed towards kids. The trailer did, but actually watching the show, it doesn't seem like it's aimed that way. It's based on a DC comic.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it's very good, and Anna got into it. I enjoyed it. Like it's very good. And we have 7 minutes left of the first episode, and that's why I came screaming in here so late, because I thought that would be like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we started at 6 o'clock, and apparently that first episode's kind of long. So, so I don't know what happened at the end of the first episode, and it's killing me inside. But
that's awesome.
And then we're watching Lucifer.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that where it looks like Keith David is playing the role of God.
Yeah, which is hilarious. Like his voice.
It's not the first time you've had a black guy as God. You had Morgan Freeman do it in Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's such a good show. That show is so good.
Keith David's voice will always be connected to the Arbiter from Halo for me. Like I just can't. I can't hear his voice. Yeah, he's the Arbiter in Halo 2 and the other ones, but he's in Halo 2 and 3 the most. But yeah, his voice is Arbiter. I'm like, every time I hear him, I'm just like, oh, that's the Arbiter. It's the same thing with now I can't think of his name right now, but the actor who plays not the receptionist.
Oh, that's not Keith David. Keith David is not playing God in Lucifer.
Is that not Keith David?
No.
Oh, you're right. That's a different guy. I'm sorry. I got him mixed up.
I had to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I only saw like some of the trailer, so I guess
No, this guy is Dennis Haysbert, and Dennis Haysbert is I believe he's an insurance. Doesn't he do Allstate insurance commercials?
That guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really super deep voice. Jeez, Max, so racist. Not all black people look the same.
I was waiting for that joke. What's his name?
He's fantastic. I was thinking in my head, I was like, that doesn't sound right, but I'm just gonna let him go with it.
What's the guy's name again? You said Dennis what?
Haysbert.
Hayes.
Fantastic actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah, he doesn't look that much like Keith David.
Look anything like him.
Yeah.
And his voice is way deeper. Literally,
David has a really deep voice.
But Dennis Haysbert, dude, he's like, think of the Allstate commercials.
Yeah.
Super deep. Like if God actually came down and spoke to me, Dennis Haysbert's voice would be the voice I would hear, I think. Like it's just so deep and like it's like, hey, there's God here. But it's like super deep. Can't go any deeper than that. Like I think he has a deeper voice than what I just did. Hey.
That's pretty deep, dude.
Boats and hoes. So what are you watching? Anything good?
So I'll start with the less good because you know the other thing I'm about to talk about because I've been talking to you about it all week. But I'm gonna start with something else. So I decided today to watch Stowaway on Netflix. Figured it's something I could put on the background at work, which didn't work very well. I was too busy.
Here, FYI, I just have to go off camera, but I'm still listening.
You're good. But I had to anyway. I had a lot to do at work today, so like I couldn't really look at it too much. That is a handsome looking picture you got there, Lance. Looking like me.
Screw you for keep changing it. I'm trying to blow my nose, and you made me come back to yell at you about the picture.
Anyway, so I watched Stowaway. If you guys don't know Stowaway, it's Anna Kendrick, and I can't remember the three other actors that are in it. It's a very small cast, only four actors in the entire film. And the basic premise is there's 3 astronauts on a mission to Mars to hopefully start the process of moving life to Mars. Premise was interesting. I mean, it's not completely new, but it's an interesting premise.
Did you say Anne Hathaway?
No, did I say Anne Hathaway? No, I said Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, Anna Kendrick. I always enjoy watching anything with her in it. But the story takes a turn because somehow this guy was a stowaway on the space shuttle. And I don't remember them ever explaining.
Could I just say something to that point that you just said? There's many shows that feature like a stowaway on a space shuttle.
Yeah.
And any space company, like I don't know what to call them, engineers or whatever, where a stowaway could get on your spaceship is not a spaceship that I want to be on.
Yeah, for real.
Because that just seems like an oversight. And I think that when you're building a spaceship, you shouldn't have oversight.
Yeah, it's okay. Also, I don't remember them ever explaining why this guy was on the ship. I didn't particularly enjoy the movie. Like, I was starting to like it because it's a movie because I like space movies. And so I'm like, okay, this will be cool. And I could tell that it was going to be like a more realistic take where when they're in space, it's completely silent and all those kinds of things. I like that.
Wait, it's not a comedy?
Oh no, it's a drama.
You said Anna Kendrick, and I immediately went to it's a comedy.
Oh no, even
the premise of which you were describing the show of a stowaway being on the spaceship and everything. It's like, oh, it's probably hilarious.
No, it's not funny at all, and it's not very good. Like they don't ever explain to you why this guy was on the ship. He's just there, and he's like wounded, and they have to patch him up. And then the whole premise of the movie is like they're running out of oxygen, and they don't have enough for 4 people, so somebody has to die. So basically, they took the plot line of...
Still could be a comedy in my head.
They took the plot line of The Last Jedi, where they're just slowly flying through space, running out of air or out of gas, and made it more boring. It was not very good. I wasn't... It started off strong, good cast, not very good, though. Music was good,
okay,
that's about it.
So do you need something to cleanse your Anna Kendrick palette?
No, I've seen plenty of amazing Anna Kendrick stuff. I'm good.
Hey, you're supposed to say yes, Lance. Do you have something in mind?
I don't need another recommendation.
Max, do you need something to cleanse your Anna Kendrick palette?
Yeah, yes. What's up?
Dummy on Roku.
No,
so Roku bought.
It looks awful.
It's hilarious.
Tubi, right? They bought Tubi.
Quibi,
that's right. I said it wrong.
Super easy watch. Each episode is only 7 minutes long, which is surprising because they get a lot in the episode. It's done by Dan Harmon's wife. Dan Harmon is the creator of Community and Rick and Morty. It's done by his wife. The 2 main characters are Dan Harmon and his wife, but Anna Kendrick is playing his wife, and Donnell Logue is playing Dan Harmon. And it is very funny. Extremely funny. The premise is kind of cheeky and stupid, but it's very funny, and it's exactly the kind of thing I would put Anna Kendrick in. Like it matches her humor. So
nice. No, it's something I've thought about watching, but is it like with ads and everything because it's on Roku?
No.
Oh, well, that's nice. Because you don't pay for Roku. It's just if you have a Roku, you can watch a few things on there.
It's just an added benefit. It might have an ad in the beginning, but there's no ads in the middle.
Okay, and they're short, right? Wasn't that the whole thing with Quibi? It was like short form content. Oh yeah, that's
7 minutes. Short. But this movie was originally created to be a movie, and then they thought, well, let's make it a TV show, and then they made it a short form TV show, so it's only 7 minutes long. But it was a movie that was going to be cut.
So how many episodes are there?
I think there's 8 or 9 or something. It's very
so that's
good.
Super short.
Yeah, you can watch it in a day. It's 7 minutes long. There's actually a lot of fun things on there. So I started watching Die Hard, which is Kevin Hart and John Travolta. And Kevin Hart wants to be an action star. He's kind of like the Chris Rock, or Kevin Hart as we know him when he's in action movies, is kind of like the stupid bumbling sidekick guy.
Yeah.
But he wants to be like the main guy, the main action star, like The Rock and stuff like that. So he goes to a school for action stars that's run by the character John Travolta plays, and hilarity ensues.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, so that's the one thing I've been watching with Stowaway, and then the much more positive reaction. Like if I had to give Stowaway a score, 2 out of 5. Now the 5 out of 5, if I could give it more than 5 that I'm about to mention, is A Handmaid's Tale, or The Handmaid's Tale.
Hey, let me ask you, who told you to watch that?
I can't remember. This really fat, ugly, bald guy.
Max. Don't be a dick.
It was you, definitely you. I don't remember what I was watching. I watched something and then I got caught up on it, and I was like, "Hey, Lance, I need something new to watch. What should I do?" And he said, The Handmaid's Tale, and I was like, "You know what? It's been on my list for a while, so sure." And Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out like 2-3 weeks ago now, and I got really into that. And then I started The Handmaid's Tale. I haven't played Mass Effect in like a week because all I've done on my free time is watch The Handmaid's Tale.
It's
that good. And Mass Effect is one of my favorite franchises in gaming, so that's pretty impressive that it pulled me away.
Would you put Handmaid's Tale in your top 10 all time?
Yes.
Would you put it in your top 5?
I think so, yeah.
Would you put it in your top 3?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But maybe.
I'm not going beyond that because I know we've had this discussion. Like you called Breaking Bad pretty much the best TV show.
Yeah, I think Breaking Bad is probably the best TV show I've ever seen.
And then Better Call Saul is probably close.
No. I don't think Better Call Saul is really good, but I think Breaking Bad is far superior.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
There's also just so many great shows.
And then maybe Handmaid's Tale. No, Supernatural, then Handmaid's Tale.
So Breaking Bad is 1 for you, Supernatural, then Handmaid's Tale?
No, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Supernatural, Handmaid's Tale. That's my top.
Okay. I don't know. Supernatural. Better Call Saul is probably in my top 10. It might be in my top 5. I don't know. Breaking Bad just made a bigger impact on me. Like that one, it's so good. I don't know. I'd have to think about like my top 5 TV shows of all time list. Like I love The Mandalorian, but would it be on my top 5 TV shows ever? Maybe not. Like it's not. It's incredible Star Wars content,
but there's a lot of. It's not good from point A to point B, right? Like you could have one really good episode and then one episode that's like meh, right? That's the issue with Mandalorian. If they could have that amazing episode and just keep that trajectory for the entire season, it would probably be in my top 10, right? But they can't. Like there's a lot of episodes where I was like, what? Like the frog one last season when I said, what's the point of this freaking episode? It was way too short.
It was a filler dumb episode. Yeah, but like
I want them to stay away from that crap.
I get it. And The Handmaid's Tale was so good that I'm like sitting here today, like, why isn't there something new for me to watch? Because I got completely caught up. Which is nuts. I started from the beginning. I mean, it's not like it's some like super duper long show. They're in their 4th season, but season 1's 10 episodes, and then seasons 2 and 3 are 13 episodes each. And they're like 45, 50-minute episodes, sometimes even more every time. So it's a lot of content. And then season 4 just finished their 8th episode on Wednesday on my birthday. So they've got two more left, but like I'm just kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to me that I got through it so fast.
Handmaid's Tale is like every so often a show come, like recently it was WandaVision. On Friday I was watching that, right? Like I would not miss it. Falcon, I could maybe, if we weren't talking about it on the show, I could maybe wait a day to watch it. There wasn't like that intensity to like tune in, right? Handmaid's Tale is another one of those shows that like Tuesday, it's on our Hulu on Tuesdays. And a Tuesday, like at 9:00, it hits our Hulu. Okay, and so we watch it immediately. And it's like, hey, stop whatever the F you're doing and sit down on this couch and watch Handmaid's Tale, which is crazy because normally that's me. Like we're in the middle of the show and I want to see what happens. And she's like doing dishes and stuff. And I'm the one that's saying, hey, stop what you're doing and sit your ass down so we can watch the show. No, Handmaid's Tale. She's like, Lance, whatever you're doing, it's not important. Like I could be like rescuing a kitten from a tree. It's not important. Sit down and watch Handmaid's Tale with me.
It'd have to be your kid being rescued. And even then, they can sit there for an hour. They'll be all right.
I don't know, dude. It'd be close. Kid in immediate peril or Handmaid's Tale. It'd be close. Like she would hesitate. Just kidding.
I'm sure. No, I know you are. But like, I don't want to give any spoilers for people who haven't watched it. But let me just give a basic premise, which I know I did this last week when Sam and I were doing the show.
On Handmaid's Tale?
Because I had started the show and I might have been done with season 1 already last week when we talked. I can't remember exactly where I was.
Has he seen it?
No, he hasn't. But the basic premise of the show is that it's set in an alternate, like present day, and it's basically just about the United States has been taken over by Gilead, as they call themselves, and it's like a crazy patriarchy. It's Old Testament Moses days, like the law of Moses type stuff, where the men are at the top and they have concubines who are called handmaids, and they're men are
Nazis. Like they're essentially
horrible,
like fascists.
They're definitely fascists. They're not they're not inherently racist in the show. But they're extremely oppressive to women.
They're bigoted. They don't allow gay, lesbian, but there are black people among the community and some high-ranking black people. So at least they don't go that far. But
but they're bigoted very much.
Lesbian.
Yeah, they're horrible. Yeah, if you're a lesbian, they call you a race traitor or a gender traitor. Sorry. It's grim. It's very grim. So the world in this Handmaid's Tale is like everyone's infertile. It's a world crisis. Like the birth rate has gone down 60-70% because of infertility. And so Gilead is formed out of what they call necessity. That's why they're taking in these handmaids who are women who have already had a child. And so they're like, okay, well, they can have a child. So I'm going to rape them every month and hopefully impregnate them. It's awful. Like the premise is so bleak. I actually found out. So it's based on a book. The book is banned. It's a banned book in schools, which honestly I don't disagree with because the subject material. Do you? The subject material is very mature. I don't know if it's appropriate for your 14-year-old freshman in high school to be reading necessarily. I mean, that's up to the parents to decide, but I don't blame it for being a banned book in that regard. But the book only covers season 1. Everything after that, the writers of the show have kind of, made up themselves, but it kind of gets better after season 1.
They do.
Season 1 was really good, but it gets even better. Season 4, there was some things about it that I wasn't liking that I don't want to ruin here. I just found the main character, she's kind of going crazy and being a little villainous. No. Yes and no. Well, we talked about it a little bit. I think she's being stupid. But we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, we can talk in more depth one of these days. Or maybe we'll just go full spoilers one of these days too. I don't know.
Everybody dies.
It's not like Walking Dead in that way where everyone is constantly dying, at least.
Yeah.
But there are characters that you grow to love that will die. I mean, I'm not going to say who, but yes, it will happen.
Yeah, we need to talk offline about this later because I really want to talk about that train scene.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that bummed me out.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, A Quiet Place 2? No, I'm just kidding. Army of the Dead.
Well, do we want to do our announcement or should we do that at the end?
Yeah. Okay. So on Facebook, I posted something on the Facebook Couch Crunchers page that said, make sure you tune in tonight and listen because Max and I and Sam and Tyler have a big announcement. So we are closing down Couch Crunchers. And it was a very difficult decision to make. We thought very long and hard about it. This is something we've been doing for nearly 5 years. And it was a labor of love. And we just decided now's the time. So the plan going forward is we are taking the rest of June off. We are going to have a big show, which Jay will be a part of, and we got some special messages from friends that have been on the show on July 2nd, where we'll be talking about what did you say we were talking about?
F9, because we were going to subtitle
tonight because it's the last subtitle. Ride.
Yeah, our episode is going to be
ride.
Yeah, one last ride.
Family. So yeah, but out of the ashes, there's some positive news as Max and I will be joining the Absolute Geek podcast with Matt, our good friend Matt. So we will still be here every Friday night.
Starting July 9th.
Starting July 9th to talk about some fun stuff still. But yeah, it's we're really excited about this new future, and it's sad to see Couch Crunchers go. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. I'm getting a little choked up. We put a lot of work and love into this thing, and yeah, man.
We did. It's been a labor of love for many years. We put a lot of work into the website, which will be coming down. You know, if we're not going to do Couch Crunchers anymore, we're not going to keep paying for hosting. So we're paid up through October, but after that, no more couchcrunchers.com. It won't be there anymore. I mean, I know I personally, at the beginning, I was like the editor of the website, and I was posting articles all the time. There were sometimes I was doing 5-6 articles a week. And then of course we did the podcast on top of that. It's been a really fun journey. It's been a lot of work, but it's time to move on and do something new.
Yeah, and Absolute Geek allows us the opportunity for more exposure. They have an excellent fan base. A lot of those fans are fans of ours, so it's you know, we're going to be able to go to many more Comic-Cons and be able to see all you guys, and it just seemed for the longest time everybody was saying, it's like, why don't you guys just merge your show? Right? That's what everybody was saying. Why don't you guys just merge your show? Because we were such good friends with each other, and it's kind of what we're doing. So we're bringing a little bit of Couch Crunchers flavor to the Absolute Geek podcast with the lovely.
It's a hostile takeover.
It's a hostile takeover. We're coming in with guns. But yeah, it's exciting.
Absolutely. It's been a great ride. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, since 2017 is when we started this thing. I wasn't there at the beginning, but I was. Since episode 2 I've been there. And even before
Max came late.
And even before it was officially started, I was helping design the website. Like, I've been involved from the beginning. I just wasn't officially a Couch Cruncher until episode 2. So I've been here. I think we're on episode 148 today or something like that. So I've been here for 147 of them. It's been a great ride.
Yeah.
All right. Should we go ahead?
What's that?
I was going to say, should we get into the Army of the Dead, or is there more you wanted to say?
Well, I'm kind of bummed we're not talking about A Quiet Place, because you guys talked about that last week. But I just want to say 5 out of 5. Damn, that movie was good.
It was very good. I totally agree.
What was your rating of it?
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
You ended up giving it. Blasphemous.
It was fantastic, but I try to be sparing on my 5 out of 5s.
I walked out of that movie and I said, that was, and it might just be that I haven't seen like a real movie, like a movie that was like so hyped and anticipated in a year and a half or whatever it's been.
Yeah. It's been a while since something good's come out.
Yeah. So it might just be that I'm enamored by it because of the situation that we're in. So we'll see what happens in 39 days when it's on Paramount Plus, and I'll watch it again.
Which, by the way, I got it wrong. This is episode 146. So our last one's going to be 147.
Gosh, dang it, dude. Do your freaking research.
I was just guesstimating. Yeah, dude, Quiet Place Part 2 was really, really good. I don't even remember why I gave it a tick down. I think there was just, it just wasn't quite a 5 for me. Like 1917, that's a 5. Every time I watch that, I like.
It was not enough John Krasinski. Max just salivates over that 6-pack.
Yeah. Well, A Quiet Place 1 is a 5, like for me. So I loved A Quiet Place 2, but I do like the first one a bit better.
Yeah, see, I walked out of the theater and said, this might be better.
Really? Yeah, I want to see it again. We'll see.
But it was also nice because it was the first time in a year and a half that my wife and I, the last movie my wife and I saw together was The Way Back.
So you're just as bad as Kelsey and I. That was the last thing we saw. That and Onward. Yeah.
So, or no. It was The New Mutants was the last one my wife and I saw, but it was around the same time, right?
No, New Mutants came out like last June, July.
Oh, that's right. We did. Okay, so it was after the pandemic was going and movie theaters start opening up a little bit, and that was like the only thing you could see. We did go see that. I forgot, but before that, it was The Way Back.
New Mutants and Tenet came out around the same time in July.
Yeah, but my wife had no desire to see Tenet.
I get it,
and I still can't get her to watch it.
I'm not even going to try. Kelsey hates that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I try. Make her suffer through it. And then I also want to give a big shout out to my Phoenix Suns and Max's Phoenix Suns.
Dude.
Putting the smackdown on the Lakers last night.
I mean, I think most of our listeners are Arizonans, so they get it. But if you're not an Arizonan,
we hate the Lakers. Stand for.
We hate the Lakers.
Yeah.
So much.
We hate the Lakers.
If you're a Suns fan,
we
you hate
the Spurs.
Yes, I hate the Spurs.
We hate the Steelers.
Yeah, that's only like since 2008 when they took the Super Bowl win from the Cardinals. Before that, no one cared.
Yeah, the catch that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
But and we hate the I don't know.
Most people hate the Cowboys. But I don't know like the reason for it. I was just bred to hate the Cowboys, which my father-in-law hates because he's a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah, and you, when we first met, you're like, "Oh, I like San Francisco." I was like, "Dude, we can't be friends if you like San Francisco." Because they're in our division, and you must wish death and hellfire on everybody in our division.
And now Rams, I do.
The Niners and the
I hated the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I've never hated.
Oh, that's the other one. We hate the Seahawks.
We do. That's very true. But so the Niners was a tough one because growing up, my dad's obviously older than me. The Cardinals came here in '88, and they sucked. At first, they were really bad. So I'm like, my dad was always a Cardinals fan, but like he didn't overly follow them. It was Jake Plummer, right? Was the quarterback back in like the 90s. He was good, but he wasn't like the team wasn't great. And so my dad was a Niners fan. You've probably gathered it from the show before, but we're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as Mormons. And Steve Young's Mormon. And so all Mormons were excited to root for Steve Young back in the day on the Niners. Most were. And so, I became a big Niners fan. I
remember I was 3 when the Cardinals came here.
Yeah, I was born in '88, so I don't remember the Cardinals. And so there's like that history of it was the Niners and the Cowboys in Arizona. That's what you watched. So we hated the Cowboys, but we liked the Niners and we liked the Cardinals. The Niners were always better, so we had fun enjoying their success. But then I stopped watching football for like 15 years, and Lance got me back into it. And it took about a year or two before I decided to hate the Niners again. Or not again, to hate the Niners. Because we went to a game. Remember that? We went to a game. We were in the nosebleeds.
See, these fans, this is why
they suck. Dude, if you're a Niners fan, we love you as a person, but we hate your choice and team. Well, I can't speak for Lance. I love you as a person. I can see past it.
I'm not much into hating other groups of people, but Laker fans and Niner fans can go to hell.
My uncle was a huge Laker fan. It was always funny.
I'm sorry.
Always rooted for him.
I'm just saying. I was about to say something really mean.
He's dead, so whatever.
I was about to say he's been burnt. No, I'm just kidding. I stopped myself. I'm like, that's not good.
Nice. Dude, we're best friends. You can say that stuff. I know you're kidding around.
No, but burning in hell.
Oh man. But yeah, man, we haven't talked about sports on the show hardly ever. I think the Suns being good this year is just it's exciting to see them like number 2. Yeah, the Cardinals have been
year or two, and falling short.
Well, last year weren't they pretty bad? The year before that, they had the worst record in the season, I thought.
No, the last 2 years they've had Kyler.
Okay, maybe it was the year
before that. Before that, they were very bad. They got the first overall pick.
Yeah,
but I mean, we had Palmer, and then we had like 2 years of really bad suckage, and then we got Kyler, and we've been on an incline.
Yeah, then you got freaking Booker on the Suns. 47 points he put up yesterday. The most he put up the entire season. That's crazy. That was a fun game to watch, man. I only got to watch the second half, but that was a fun watch. And then we got coming up against the Nuggets starting on Monday.
We're gonna kick their asses too.
I hope so. I've got friends that are Nuggets fans. Since I
got to wear my Movies Phoenix shirt, Phoenix Movies.
Well, considering I lived in Colorado for a while, I definitely know some Nuggets fans. Although the fan base for the Nuggets isn't very like vehement because they usually suck.
No, it's all Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos is the biggest thing, and then Avalanche is next because the Avalanche are usually pretty good. There's a lot of hockey fans. The Rockies are third, and then the Nuggets are definitely like that stepchild that no one cared about. Like that's the Coyotes for us. Not that nobody cares about the Coyotes, but Cardinals are our biggest, and then probably D-backs, and then the Suns.
I think Suns are the biggest.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like football.
They're the original franchise. They've been here since the 60s. And the Cardinals were not good until Kurt Warner got here.
Yeah.
Like ever. Like we've never been good until Kurt Warner got here. And even then we were just decent. It was by a stroke of, God's intervention or something like that got the Cardinals to the Super Bowl to begin with. The Suns have, and I would say it's the Suns, Cardinals, D-backs, Coyotes. But the Suns, I mean, they've had several different decades where they've been. I mean, they had the Barkley decade, the Nash decade.
That was a fun era,
and then
that was the last time we went to the finals was with freaking Barkley and all them. Like I know we've been to the playoffs with Nash and that team, but I think we got eliminated in the second round. So hopefully this year we can make it past that. I think we can. We got a great team, man.
Nash went to a Western Conference Finals.
Not with us though.
Yeah,
we went to the finals.
A Western Conference Finals, so not
Western Conference, not the finals. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just
in another.
But I did remember correctly that we haven't been to the finals since the Barkley era.
Yeah, and we lost to Michael Jordan, which
at the time people were mad, but to say you lost to Michael Jordan isn't too embarrassing.
Yeah,
the man was so good. But now we got to take out LeBron, the king. We made him storm off the court early twice in a row.
Drama king. I'm operating under, this brings it back to Couch Crunchers. I'm operating under the theory that LeBron wanted to lose so that he could go do the press junket for Space Jam.
He did mention something about that, actually. Not that he wanted to lose, but that
they're like,
I'm not doing the Olympics.
For the off season, it's like, I'm going to take on the Monstars or the Goon Squad or whatever they're called now. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to be playing with Bugs and Lola. Probably a better team than what he had in LA.
I'm fully expecting that movie to suck so bad. But I'll be pleasantly surprised I'll be pleasantly surprised if it's good. I'm just not expecting
MJ makes an appearance.
Well, that'll probably be my favorite part. Should we get into Army of the Dead?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Army of the Dead.
Full-on spoilers from my main man, Zack Snyder.
I wouldn't call him my main man, but okay.
Well, I would because I love his movies.
Whatever floats your boat.
Before A Quiet Place 2 came out, my favorite movie of the year was Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, I gave that. And it's okay. Some people have mental disabilities.
You liked it too. We gave it when Tyler Sam and I reviewed it. We gave it a 4 out of 5 all around. We all really liked it.
I wasn't on that show. I don't think was I.
You weren't. You've missed some good movies.
Yeah. I didn't because that wasn't one of them. I would give that a 3 out of 5.
That is an insultingly low number.
Okay, you really want to get into this right now, Max?
Sure. It's just
I bought a 55-inch TV. I want them to fill up every damn square inch of it. I like to see my Superman large and in charge, not on a box the size of a Tic Tac.
Yeah, I get it. The aspect ratio was definitely was weird.
And anytime when Zach makes movies in the future and he says, "Hey, let's put slow-mo right here," somebody should slap him. No more slow-mo.
He did less in Army of the Dead. I didn't notice it as much. There was a lot in Justice League, like a lot. But regarding your score, this is what I think, okay? Are you kidding me? That's insultingly low. It's from The Office.
No, it's not.
To me, it is.
Now, I would have given the Joss Whedon cut a 0.5 out of 5. A throw pillow.
Yeah, dude. I rewatched it in preparation for Justice League.
And it sorry that you put yourself through that.
It was when I watched it originally, I gave it a 3. I just must have been in a good mood because it was not.
No, because this is the thing with you, and you know this. You can't deny it. You go see a Batman or Superman movie, and you're like,
yes, you know? Shiny lights.
Yes, and then you go see it again. And you're like, what the hell was I thinking? You know, it's like we call that here at Couch Crunchers the Stuber effect.
Yeah, dude. Well, okay, so like. Some of it is just like this excitement mode, you know, and then also I really love the theaters. But like I saw Rise of the Skywalker in theaters, or Rise of Skywalker, I think 6 times. It's not a good movie, but I saw it 6 times because I love Star Wars, and I just wanted to keep seeing it.
I have that same thing, you know, when I went and saw Iron Man 3. And Iron Man 2. I'm like, oh, Iron Man. Oh, yeah, sign me up, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, that movie was amazing. And then I watched it again. I was like, what the?
I hated it. I remember walking out of the theater with you on that one. I was pissed.
Yeah, the Mandarin thing. But it's still like, I liked Iron Man 3 until I saw it a second time. I was like, oh, wait
It's actually funny. Future watches made me like it more because I knew the twist was coming. That twist soured the whole thing. If we were reviewing movies back then, I would have probably said 0.5 star.
I think that movie is going to be better once Shang-Chi comes out.
I hope so, especially if there is reference to the Mandarin. I mean, it's about the rings.
Yeah.
So
once
is that Shang-Chi one coming?
I
know it's before the Eternals, which is November. At least I thought so. Is it August? There's a lot of Marvel movies coming out in the later half of the year. Because Spider-Man's supposed to come out too. Like, it's a big year. Yeah, that one's December. It's
okay. Shang-Chi is September. So we got Black Widow. Then we got the Eternals.
Oh, it's the Eternals before. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, the Eternals is before.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure. Jeez, dude, now you have.
I thought the Eternals was November. The point is, we're getting 4 movies this year. Spider-Man's the last one. I know that.
So it goes Black Widow, Shang-Chi in September, Eternals in November, Spider-Man in December.
Nice.
No Way Home comes out December 17th. So that'll be a great Christmas gift, early Christmas gift, because I will probably be at the theaters every weekend. Because, as you know, Spider-Man's my favorite character.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I get it. That's probably the one I'm the most excited for out of all these. If I had to rate my excitement, Eternals is the bottom. Cool, yeah, I think I said if I had to rate my excitement, it probably goes Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and like Black Widow were tied. But definitely Eternals is the one I'm least excited about. Sam and I watched that trailer live on the show last week, and I was just like, that doesn't look very good.
The Eternals, I think, is going to be better than what the trailer did.
Well, I'm sure it will be.
Because Kamal Nagiani, how can you not get excited about?
I love Kamal.
Yeah.
Is he going to be funny?
Everybody loves him.
He better be funny.
That dude is like, you know, white bread. Everybody loves it. You know, like
The Big Sick. That was so good, dude.
The Big Sick is like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
But what did you think about this Netflix Army of the Dead movie?
Oh, yeah, shit. Is that what we came here to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it long, dude.
Okay, so as you know, I'm kind of I'm the horror movie guy of the group, right, Max? Wouldn't you say?
I'd say you and Sam both are. Sam gets really into horror movies.
Yeah, but
you're the
Sam
zombie movie guy, I'd say.
I like anything with blood, guts, and swearing and intense action sequences, which this gives me all of that.
It gives us a lot of it. I loved all the gore, dude. There's some great
Dave
scenes.
Bautista going and kicking zombie ass was amazing. And this show is ending July 2nd. So I have no problem cursing up a storm. Sam and Tyler aren't
do
here.
What you gotta do.
Them.
I don't care.
So
we don't mark these as appropriate for kids, so don't worry about it.
So and I just feel like I'm having a casual conversation with my hetero here.
Yeah, it's been fun. We don't do these. We don't do these just us enough. I enjoy it. I like it when it's just us.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
We talked about the Suns for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about those Suns. No, just kidding. But Dave Bautista kicking zombie ass, and Zack Snyder, he kind of reinvented the zombie genre a little bit. Like, he kind of took things that made World War Z cool, like fast, smarter zombies, but also included like the zombies that we remember, the slow moving, stupid zombies, and put them into one universe, which was something we've never really seen before, right?
Yes, but I wanted to really quick on A Quiet Place Part 2, because you just reminded me, because you were talking about like the zombies and how there's the different ones. Well, okay, aren't the monsters in A Quiet Place just like clickers from The Last of Us? Yes. They freaking look like them.
They even have
they're like their heads open up the same way. Mm-hmm. They only hear sound. They can't see. Like,
I smell a lawsuit. No, just kidding.
But anyway, so like you just said that you said how like Zack Snyder's movie here, Army of the Dead. I wouldn't just go as far as to say it reinvented zombie movies, but it definitely iterated on the genre in a fun way. I like that World War Z has the fast running zombies, and this one was cool that the zombies are really intelligent and they have their own culture, and they didn't necessarily care to attack the humans that were there because they brought them an offering. And it was also interesting that the queen was
a PSA for zombie rights.
It was just interesting. It was cool. I liked it. And they were hard to kill, those faster ones.
How gruesome. Okay, so we're just gonna get into spoilers because
of course.
Who cares? How awesome was it watching Garrett Dillahunt saw off with the cord?
Oh, dude!
Stripper zombie's head. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, he's just, and then he takes a snapping head thing and puts it in his bag. Oh, dude, it's like, hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
It had Walking Dead vibes to it, because we've seen that before.
He's in Fear the Walking Dead.
I know that. I thought that was a fun connection. Well, he's a good guy in that, as far as I remember, but he's the bad guy pretty much here.
Yeah, so I first remember him from Raising Hope.
Same.
He was the dumb dad, and he was my favorite part of that show. And when every time that he's involved in a casting rumor, I'm like, cast him, just cast him. Like, I love seeing him because he is a very good actor, and he doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough praise for how good of an actor he is, and I think it's because he's kind of goofy looking. He doesn't have like that traditional good looks of like.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's bad looking, but he's not like.
No, he's not bad looking, but he looks like a comedic actor. But he could be. It's the same thing with the dude from The Unicorn. Have you seen that show on CBS, The Unicorn?
I have not.
Shoot, what's his name? Crap, dude. He's a fantastic actor. His name is Walton Goggins. And Walton Goggins has been in some like they both strike me as the same kind of person. He was in The Hateful Eight, Vice Principals.
Oh yeah, I know Walton Goggins. I like him.
Yeah. Very good actor, but he kind of looks goofy. He doesn't look like a leading man type actor, but
but he's a villain in quite a few things. He's good.
The Unicorn's a comedy, and it's fantastic. So
I haven't seen that one.
You have Paramount Plus. You should watch it. It's very good. I'm pretty sure that's all on Paramount Plus. He's a very good actor.
He was in Invincible as the voice. He was Cecil Stedman. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old
very
guy.
good actor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't seen Vice Principals, dude, that one's a good one too. That's probably on HBO Max, I would say.
Which one?
Vice Principals.
I'll have to check it out.
Danny McBride and Walter Goggins. Yeah, you should just go on a Walter Goggins binge and a Garrett Dillahunt Hunt binge. But there was a rumor for a while that Garrett Dillahunt Hunt was going to be cast as Negan instead of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which I was all on board for because I thought he would have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was so good, though. I'm glad with that casting. So good.
Yeah, not to say that his is bad or anything, but I think that Garrett
the writing was also fantastic for Negan. Like, man, they make you hate him. Not that it's hard to when he comes in and
I'm going to hate you.
Yeah, and gruesomely too. Man, that was brutal.
They killed what's the redheaded guy's name?
I can't think of his name right now. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Real big, beefy guy.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name right now.
He's also a favorite character of mine. But so Garrett Dillahunt Hunt saws off that stripper lady's head with like a cord or something. And meanwhile, the hot blonde chick that was in the movie, I don't know who that was, but she was like a punk rocker blonde girl.
Yeah.
And she's just watching in horror as this guy does this. And then to see it, and as I said, we're getting into spoilers, and then to see him, like, all of a sudden you start to like hate him for doing this, right? Like he wants to take this head out of the quarantine zone so that he can get money for it because they're going to test it and stuff.
Which is a terrible idea.
A terrible idea. And then later you see him get mauled by a zombie tiger. You're like, F yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, right? Dude, he got torn to bits. That was pretty legit.
And then the hot blonde lady drops the stripper head off the side of the building.
Yeah, dude, that like freaking exploded.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
lots of blood, dude. I love.
Oh, there was so much blood. Something I've noticed with, by the way, the hot blonde chick you're talking about, her name is Norda Arnezeder, maybe. I don't know. She's French. That's probably why I can't pronounce her name. Anyway, the gore I've noticed in zombie flicks in general is always over the top, which is fine. But I've also noticed zombies have really squishy heads because people are able to stab a knife through a skull so well in any zombie flick. And I've never tried to stab a skull, but I can't imagine it's easy to get a knife through.
You know, it's kind of soft, actually. Like, if you think about it, like bone in general, like think of how easy it is to like break a bone, right?
Yeah.
And your arm and stuff is harder than your head. You know? It's like,
yeah. I don't know. The Walking Dead explains it well because they've been dead so long. But the one in particular is when he has to kill his wife and she had just turned, and he like slowly puts it into her head.
Dave Bautista. He could put a knife through a brick wall.
This is a ticky-tacky thing. It didn't break the immersion. It was just a funny observation I had.
Dave Bautista could literally punch a hole through steel. Like, that's what that man looks like, dude. Like,
I know, he's so ripped. Him and The Rock. Dude. The Rock, I think, is more ripped, but him and The Rock are so freaking ripped. Which, did you see that Dave Bautista turned down Fast and Furious role because he wants to do Gears of War?
Yeah. I also think that he wants to like kind of carve his own path because The Rock kind of did that. Like, Hulk Hogan went into like comedies and like kid movies and stuff, right? Like when Hulk Hogan became a personality outside of wrestling, right? The Rock went into action films and stuff like that and kind of carved his own path. I think Dave Bautista wants to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Carve his own path.
He's done a good job, though. He's been pretty successful. He's done a lot of comedy, but then this one wasn't comedy. Like, there was some funny things in the movie, but his role was more serious, and I think he did a good job. Yeah.
Because then you got John Cena, who John Cena's kind of trying to do what The Rock kind of did, but it hasn't really taken off the way it has with The Rock. And John Cena is an incredibly likable guy, right?
Mhm.
So like with wrestling guys, it's hit or miss. Like you would probably have to say that Bautista, Andre the Giant, the Hulk, or Hulk Hogan, and The Rock are probably the 4 of the biggest actors to come out of wrestling.
Mhm.
And
Soap
John Cena's
soap
just
operas
trying to
for men,
still
not
hit that.
wrestling.
But John Cena being in Suicide Squad, you know, but then again, he's doing exactly what Dave Bautista did. So he needs to find his own way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. But I really enjoyed all the various characters in the movie. Some of them were very one-dimensional. This wasn't meant to be a deep movie, though, so that didn't bug me.
Oh yeah.
Like, we didn't get to know much about people. We knew that they were friends. So Dave Bautista's character Scott was friends with, I think it was Vandero, I think was the name of one of his friends, and then Maria. You know, they were really good friends, and then the other people they just kind of recruited along the way. The helicopter chick, by the way, was hilarious. I can't think of
so
her name
Tig
right now.
Notaro. So you know, her character is acting completely in a green screen in that whole movie.
Really?
Yeah.
So she's never
met any of them. So Chris D'Elia, who's a famous comedian who's currently facing, I don't know, charges or something for being a sexual predator, essentially.
Okay.
Filmed that movie, that role. He was in that role. He was filming it with Dave Bautista. He was there. All this stuff started happening. So Zack Snyder went through, had Tig Notaro replace Chris D'Elia after the movie was already completed, acted out all of her scenes in front of a green screen. So she never met any of them. And that's why if you watch it again, knowing that, she always seems a little bit, I think she goes, yeah, she always seems like, I want to make sure I'm getting her pronoun correct, but she always seems a little off, like as far as the lighting and stuff. So if you watch it again, you'll notice, like, you can tell that she's not really there, and her responses have like a delay. Like they didn't time the responses right.
Well, I mean, a lot of the movies she was by herself, so that probably helps. You know, she's up there on the top of the casino fixing the helicopter, and then like she's talking to them over the radio and stuff like that. But that's interesting. I might have to go back and check, especially at the end when she's flying the helicopter.
It seems off.
I didn't notice it because I didn't know any different.
And I think they forgot to replace some of the green screen.
What do you mean?
If you look at when she's flying the helicopter, the window above her is green.
I didn't notice that. It could be. Yeah. It could be a mistake in editing. That's a pretty big one, though, if the whole window is green. I don't know.
I meant to go check that out again before we talked about this. And let me see if I can see if there's an image of her flying. But yeah, she didn't film it at all with them, so she's completely CGI'd in.
Wow, she was really funny. I liked her role.
Yeah, and Chris D'Elia, as you know, I don't know how much truth there is to what he's been accused of, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a pretty funny guy. But I think Tig Notaro was better than what Chris D'Elia, because Chris D'Elia is not really that great of an actor.
Yeah, I've seen his comedy, but I don't know that I've seen him in many films. I just thought it was. Well, go ahead. Sorry. I was just going to say, I definitely know who he is. I recognize his face. And I can even hear his voice. But I hadn't heard about the controversy with him. I didn't know any of that stuff.
So my favorite character in the movie was he Austrian or German?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name right now. He was funny. Dieter.
Yeah.
I think he was awesome, German. Dude. Yeah, he was funny. The actor is Matthias. I'm not going to get this name right. Schweighöfer. I'm sure that I got that wrong, but that's the actor's name. I feel like I've seen him in other things, but He was hilarious.
Yeah, he was my favorite. And then I really liked how him and Vandero,
Yeah,
the guy
something
with
like
like
that.
the saw thing.
Yeah. Which he didn't use again, really. Like he used it in like the opening
Yeah,
sequence, but then they never had
someone
him
picks
use
it
it
up.
again.
He's like, "Don't touch my effing saw," right?
Yeah.
And so you think there's going to be like this badass moment where he uses that saw to like just go through a bunch of zombies, and it never really happens.
I feel like we need the Snyder cut of this movie. And like I'm kidding, but like it does feel like there were things cut that were clearly intended to be in there. Cause like I'm not gonna say Zack Snyder's like some amazing visionary, the best director ever. I love his movies, but like he's a very experienced director and he knows what he's doing. But there were two instances, that's one of them, where there's this foreshadowing for that saw that then Vandero never uses again.
Yeah.
So that was one. And then the other is when they get into Vegas and there's all those dead bodies all over the floor. And the Coyote girl talks about how, well, yeah, when it rains, they reanimate and they come back to life. So she said that, and I'm like, oh, we're definitely going to have a scene where all these zombies come back to life, and they're going to have to mow a bunch of them down. Like they're going to be running away from them. Never happened.
I bet you that'll happen later because it definitely sets it up for a sequel. I think it's supposed to be a trilogy.
It does, and so maybe that's the intent. But like, it felt weird that they said it so early in the movie and then it never came about. So that felt like something that may have been shot and they had to cut it. I don't know though. That probably would have been an expensive scene to cut. Oh, no, that's not true. It would have been a ton of CGI probably. So if they just didn't do it in post processing.
Yeah. So this is what I liked most about this movie is you go into this movie think it's going to be a vehicle for Dave Bautista's career, right? That he's going to come do this trilogy and it's going to make him a superstar. No. They kill him at the end of this movie.
It's true.
So now the next movie,
they kill everybody.
Everybody. Does Tig Notaro
except
die?
for his daughter? Yeah, she died in the crash. The only person that lives is his daughter, Kate.
So she's obviously, or she may or may not be a big part of.
Well, I was looking at her earlier, and according to IMDb, she's slated for a Army of the Dead TV series. And it's called Army of the Dead Las Vegas TV series here in 2021. So I don't know what that's about. Because she's the only one that survived, so it sounds like it would be a sequel, or maybe it's like a short TV series that I just haven't seen. Like that was like a prelude to the movie. I don't know, but she's the only one that can go forward in a sequel because Vandero at the end, you see that he has a bite. He's the one that brings the virus out with him, which you were fully expecting. I'm like, it's a zombie movie. They don't really ever tie those up with a string except for Shaun of the Dead, which they do very comically, but or tie that up with a bow, you know what I mean? But yeah, the virus is definitely getting back out.
Are you sure this isn't the behind the scenes?
It might be. That's why I'm saying it might be something else.
So because I did watch a behind the scenes thing that was on Netflix.
And that might have been it. That might be it. But she was the only one that had it listed on her when I was looking at stuff. But
no, they're all listed. If you go to it, they're all listed.
Yeah, but like when I went to the individual people, I didn't see it. So it's probably that. That's why
there are some actors here that I'm trying to figure out why they're like it says Joe I can't ever say his last name.
DiMaggio?
Yeah. Manganiello.
Oh, I probably got that wrong.
Yeah. And then it also has Jenna Malone. I don't remember her. Vanessa Hudgens. There's a bunch of people here that were not in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I did like it was a fresh take on the zombie genre. And I think the thing I liked the most was the fact that this is kind of a soft sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
I've heard that, and I haven't seen Dawn of the Dead, so I don't know that reference really. But I've heard it's a great zombie movie. I just haven't seen it. If it's on HBO Max or something, I should check it out.
The Las Vegas is an anime.
Oh, okay.
Upcoming spinoff.
Okay, so I was right. It's a Well, I was guessing, but
yeah. But Yeah, so Dawn of the Dead was Zack Snyder's like reboot of the George Romero classic.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. It was pretty over the top, much like this movie is, but in a different, like a more, it seemed like there was some satirical elements to it. But it's kind of cool that Zack Snyder, he's such a big horror movie fan that he kind of spun it into doing this thing for Netflix. But I'm excited to see the future of it because like I said, these aren't movies that are like groundbreaking films. They're just fun, right? And Zack Snyder, I think, understands that, and he made it fun.
Yeah, I think so. He wasn't trying to make it super artsy like he did with his DC stuff.
Even though it's beautiful.
It is, but it was just meant to be a fun time, a romp with some zombies, lots of gore. And I had a lot of fun with it. I had so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I enjoyed it. But I don't know. Is there any rumor on when the next one will come out?
I don't know if they've announced anything yet. It probably will though, because it was. I don't think it's the most watched, but it was like the most watched in like a weekend or something of any movie Netflix has ever released. There was something. I saw some kind of article that it's very popular.
Well, it's a planned trilogy, from my understanding.
Yeah,
they're building a whole universe around it. So I think he's already been greenlit to do the next two.
I hope so.
Zack Snyder has.
I hope so. Netflix has a tendency to cancel crap. I mean, like I don't know if you saw it this week. Jupiter's Legacy was canceled. Yeah, I didn't love that show, but I liked it. I wanted to see more.
Which it was canceled, but now they're talking about doing a spin-off. Mark Miller's like, yeah, it got canceled, but now we're going to do a show about the villains in the same universe. So was it canceled? Because yes, it was, but the whole universe is still going forward.
Yeah, I don't get it. Netflix is so cancel happy. I mean, I don't see the numbers behind the scenes, but like,
I'm still pissed about Teenage Bounty Hunters. Still pissed about
Santa Clarita Diet. That's the one I'm really upset about. Like Netflix saves a bunch of stuff. Like they're good about saving certain content, like Lucifer. Yeah. And there's some others. The Last Kingdom,
which has been a huge hit for them. Lucifer.
Sure.
I think it's still their number one TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, right, it may be, but like it's nice that Netflix does that, but they also like create these new shows that are good and then they cancel them. Whatever.
And they have such a tight stranglehold on them that nobody else could really like pick them up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've heard of anything from Netflix that was canceled being picked up by another service. It may have happened and I just don't realize it. But yeah, dude. I very much enjoyed Army of the Dead. It was silly. It was a fun romp for just what I think was it 2.5 hours? Was it kind of a long movie?
I think so. I watched it by myself and I remember staying up pretty late.
Yeah, I think it was about 2.5 hours long, but it was a good 2.5 hours and
2 hours, 28 minutes.
Yeah, so about 2.5. That's a good chunk of time. But it had fun characters. It had some good drama. The story was pretty basic, but the gore was great. I think the acting was pretty good. The effects were really good especially for a Netflix movie. Like it didn't feel like a Netflix movie per se, because I've seen some of them that have some pretty bad effects, but this one didn't. There were a couple moments that like didn't look amazing, but overall I thought it looked really nice and it was well done. I saw some behind the scenes photos of Zach directing it, and like he was holding up a big light, and there was a zombie right in front of him, in full makeup. So they did a lot of practical effects here. And then Dave Bautista laying down about to shoot it in the head. It's like, man, that looks like that would have been fun to shoot. It looks like that would have been really fun.
What's cool about this movie is that a lot of it Zack Snyder filmed himself, so it wasn't like much of a camera crew. Mm-hmm. He got to hold the camera and kind of like film it himself, which is kind of his love. He's a videographer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You should watch the behind the scenes that's on there. I watched it. It's about 20 minutes long. It's really interesting to see how these movies are. I love behind the scenes stuff when they actually go into how the movies were created. So what they did is they had these drones and stuff go through Vegas, and like they had like light sensors on them that recorded all of Vegas, right? And then they recreated the entire thing digitally. So it's and he filmed everything like up close, like he's holding the camera, and most of the time it's a bunch of camera guys, and then the director's sitting back watching what they're filming in the thing, right?
Yeah.
But he was like right up in there, up close, and it's really fascinating to hear him talk about it. So when you get a chance, watch that behind the scenes featurette that's on Netflix.
I think I will. I just watched Army of the Dead last night, maybe the night before. I think it was last night actually, and it was so it's pretty fresh in my mind. Either last night or the night before, so pretty recently. I know you watched it like right when it came out, if I'm remembering correctly.
I watched it last week, 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
It's funny, you saw the first 5 minutes of it, the chase scene on the freeway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shut up, I haven't seen it. And I thought you were going to see it before I had, and then I watched it, and then you just finished it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I watched that first scene where dude's getting a BJ that leads to his death. And then I turned it off after that. I just didn't have time to watch it anymore. And then I got so freaking involved with Handmaid's Tale. I was like, I'm going to have to watch Army of the Dead at some point this week, even if I don't catch up on Handmaid's Tale. And luckily I caught up.
Dude, Lakers fans are such trash, dude.
What's going on?
So Kendall Jenner, Devin Booker, they're dating, right? Kendall Jenner was at the stadium supporting Devin Booker, who's her boyfriend, which is understandable. And a bunch of Lakers fans are like harassing her in the parking garage saying, go back to Phoenix. You're not welcome here. You're trash. Your boyfriend's trash.
Her boyfriend's trash because he trashed on their team.
Yeah.
really badly.
What pieces of shit, dude? Like, who does? That's a young woman.
Every fan base does it, but
I would never.
I have noticed. I know you wouldn't, neither would I. But every fan base does it, unfortunately. But I've noticed California teams get a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
California, New York are probably.
Yeah, those are like the two biggest markets for sports, I think. Florida's pretty big too.
It's like, hey, you know what? Keep harassing Devin Booker, because when it comes time for a contract and Lakers are trying to pursue him, you'll say, fuck no. Because that's disgusting. I don't know how you could support a team like that or a team. That's just disgusting.
I agree.
So sorry, I know that was totally off topic, but I was looking at something, and then on Google about Army of the Dead, and this came up on like my side, like my. So.
Yeah, you're good. Are we good to rate it? I don't think there's like a lot of other stuff I need to talk about.
I think so. I mean, it's not a real that much of a movie to like, except we didn't talk about the fact that or how this is spinning off to
you just sounded like a zombie there.
Right. There's two things, right? So first thing we saw in this movie that is potential to be have a sequel built around it is the fact that the zombies, the alphas, can get pregnant.
Yeah.
So the stripper zombie gets decapitated. The other alpha, the original zombie, brings her body back to the horde, I guess you could call it, goes into her stomach and pulls out a fetus, right?
Yeah.
And starts screaming. So that's initially why he goes on his rampage. The second thing is that the actor, the character Zendero.
Yeah, whatever.
Vanderho. He leaves Vegas because he hid out in the safe, right? When the explosion happens, he leaves Vegas with millions of dollars, in a duffel bag, goes to an airport and says, I need to rent a plane. They said, you can't have a plane. He throws down a couple $100 G's. They give him the plane, and he's up in the air with the stewardess, and he starts to feel not so hot. He goes to the bathroom, and it turns out he's been bit, right? And he's flying somewhere else. So now the zombie virus, I guess you could call it, is leaving Las Vegas. So obviously this is going to have a new location. So we don't know where he landed. We don't know anything. We don't know if he's going to turn into an alpha. We have no idea. Oh, he would, because the alpha bit him.
Yeah.
That's who was fighting him in the bank vault or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So he's going to turn into an alpha. That's the premise for the.
Okay. Also, another thing, they had to go in and get the money before the nuke hit, but he hid out in the vault after the nuke came out. Didn't get torn apart by radiation, but he had all the money. It was all good, all intact. So they could have just waited to nuke the whole thing and then gone in there and got all the money out.
Very true.
Would have been a much more would have been a crappy movie.
Okay, so obviously the main cast, the not the actors, but the characters are dummies. But the real reason they needed to go in there before the nuke was because they needed Garrett Dillahunt had to get the head.
That's true. There's a plot reason for why they really did need to go in there.
But for none of the other people to ask, like, well, let's just wait if it's in a safe. Let's just wait. They're dummies. And they all die, so it shows you how dumb they are. Except for Ella Purnell. And Ella goes in there not for the money, but to save those people.
Yeah. She was just a noble person, which got her dad killed, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And they just die. Man.
Yeah.
Sad.
So, all right, let's give it our rating. What do you say, Max?
I think I'm going to go to a 3.5 out of 5. Had a lot of fun with it. It was a great time.
I think I'm going to do a 3.5 out of 5. My high bar for zombie movies is Shaun of the Dead. It's the greatest zombie movie ever created. It's a solid 5 out of 5. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. You know this.
Yeah.
And so far, no zombie movie has come close to that. So just so you can see on a scale of where I'm at.
Nice.
But speaking of zombie movies, what is that show called that I watched? The zombie show. Did I tell you about this one?
I don't know if you did.
This may be a show that you should check out. Oh crap, it's gonna kill me. Santa Clarita Diet was probably pretty close to Shaun of the Dead as far as
that show was so good. It was hilarious.
As far as good zombie things. Gosh dang it, what is it called? It's this one kind of reminds me of it's gonna kill me if I can't figure this out. Oh man, this is gonna drive me nuts.
I don't know. But one thing I do
talking while I'm looking for it.
Sounds good. One thing I do want to talk about, Faber Flood Boys. There wasn't a lot. I mean, we already talked about Jupiter's Legacy, but one thing that I'm excited about is Donnie Yen is going to be joining the cast of John Wick 4. Donnie Yen, sorry, not Chen. Donnie Yen. Do you know who he is, Lance?
Yes.
Yeah. He's awesome. Really great martial artist. Obviously, John Wick 3 had some good martial arts combat going on there. With I think they were Japanese characters. They were great. And so getting Donnie Yen in there to do some martial arts against, I'm assuming he's going to face off against John Wick. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'd rather see him as a good guy. I haven't read the article yet. I'm kind of just reacting off of the headline. So I don't know if they mention that he's a villain or that he's going to be something else, but I'm stoked about that because I love that actor. He's one of my favorite parts of Rogue One. And I love the
oh, that's right. He plays the is he deaf or blind?
Yeah, blind.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then he's what is he in? Was he Jet Li's trainer? Is that the role he plays?
Yeah, but isn't he in IP?
IP Man. That's what I was talking about. IP Man.
Yeah.
Those are good too. Those are the first and second one especially were really good. Those had some great action scenes. man, yeah, I really like him. So I'm stoked to see him in my favorite, I would say, action series currently in development. John Wick is probably going to remain one of my favorites forever. I mean, Die Hard is up there as a favorite. I know they're dumb, but the Fast and Furious are up there. I just love those. John Wick is at the top though, and then Matrix as well. That's another franchise I really like. Matrix 4 coming out later this year. Excited about that.
Yeah, do you think that's going to be any good though?
No, but I'm going to love it because it's the Matrix. I don't know. It might be good. I mean, John Wick is good, and Keanu Reeves is in that. You know, he's getting older, but I don't know. It could be good.
But aren't they like retconning a bunch of stuff?
I don't know. I haven't heard much about the story.
Well, and I don't remember Matrix 2 or 3, but so Carrie Ann Fisher's coming back and Keanu Reeves is coming back. Don't one of them die?
I think they both do. So
but yet they're coming back.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure they're going to explain it some way.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
that's true. I guess that would be a
retcon. Of explaining something just to bring the two main actors back is, I don't know. It seems like a bit of a money grab. That's what.
Well, it's a bummer that Morpheus isn't coming back.
He's not?
No, he's not in it.
Does he die at the end of the third one?
It's been a while. I think he does. No, I think he lives. Yeah, Neo and Trinity both die in the final film. Does Morpheus? Sorry, guys. These are old movies. We're just... Okay, he does. So he dies from a gunshot wound. Yeah, a lot of the characters die, but they end up saving the day still. The second and third one are lauded as pretty bad. They're definitely not as good as the first one. So I'm hoping that Matrix 4 is more grounded and that it takes place in the Matrix. I think that would be great. Where the other movies only moderately, the second and third movies took place less in the Matrix with each film. The first one, tons of Matrix stuff. The second one, fair amount. The third one was like mostly in the real world with some Matrix happening. And the Matrix stuff is the best. Like, I like seeing them in New York and, you know, Agent Smith fighting Neo and all that. Now, I hope they don't bring Agent Smith back. Like, keep him dead. Give him a new villain to fight.
I don't think he would come back.
That's true. He's pretty picky about his roles.
Yeah, because like he was supposed to be the Red Skull. Said F that.
They want to pay him enough, is what I heard.
Yeah. Dude, this whole time you've been talking, I've been listening to you. Don't worry about that.
You're good.
But I'm super
You've been looking up that show.
The name of that show. It's a child actor. He was a child actor before that had really big teeth. And now this is like his new show. He's a teenager in it, and he becomes a zombie. And the girl that he was chasing after when he was alive, they like get linked by like this ring or something like that, or necklace. And it was very good. And I can't remember the name of it. And it's driving me freaking nuts, man.
So, okay. I don't know what it is, but I do want to say I looked a little deeper. Again, I was listening to you, but Donnie Yen is actually cast in a role of being a very old friend of John Wick. So it looks like they're going to team up rather than fight. So I like that. I like that more. I didn't want him to be a villain necessarily. And then they revealed some images of Shazam's new costume. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw so they released a picture because I saw a teaser trailer. He's like, "Hey, why are the lights out?" or whatever. But I didn't really see his costume in that.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I thought it looked pretty cool what I saw a little bit earlier today. I found a video, but the resolution was pretty darn awful. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, I'm going to open this image in another tab. Let's take a look here.
Oh, is it? Oh, I found it.
Well, for our listeners, we'll go ahead and share it on the screen here. Oh, no, did I? Well, whatever.
Well, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. Click that one in the black right there, all the way to the left, on the right, but in the box on the right, all the way to the left. At the very bottom.
Oh wow! Look
There
at
you
his
go.
face. Looks like they're gonna CG the cape on. But yeah, I like it. I think it looks pretty cool, and it also looks like it's less padded.
It does.
Yeah, I think it's less padded, which is good. Like this original Shazam costume. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Look how
his
padded
shoulders
that
look
thing
real
is.
fake.
Yeah, very very fake.
And
So
you can kind of tell his face seems like fuller. So he probably
yeah,
bulked up a little bit.
I think you did. So I'm excited for that. I don't know. I can't remember when that one's supposed to be releasing, but the first Shazam was so great. Came out in early 2019. There were two Shazam movies, two Captain Marvel movies rather, that came out within a month of each other, and DC's Captain Marvel was much better. I also loved that it centered around Christmas time, which was cool. And then I also loved that it had foster parents portrayed in a positive light, which isn't done often enough in media. So I had a lot of fun with it. Hey, what's up, Kyle? Hanging out at the beach tonight? Thanks for tuning in, man. I don't know if you heard the announcement, but this is our second to last episode. We're taking a 3-week break, and then we're going to be doing our final episode of Couch Crunchers on July 2nd. So hopefully you can tune in to our final show on July 2nd and hear what we have to say.
Yeah. What beach are you at, Kyle?
The beach of none of your business, man. Why are you asking such personal questions?
Because Kyle. Yeah. So
I'm also just trying to fill space before he answers. Mission Beach. That's where he's at.
How do you know?
Because he said it in the comments.
Oh, it just hit me.
So it populates on the YouTube faster than it does on the StreamYard. I've got the YouTube up.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear, Couch Crunchers is coming to an end, and Max and myself are actually joining Absolute Geek with Matt. So we're really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. First episode of Absolute Geek will be July 9th. Last episode of Couch Crunchers is going to be July 2nd. Yeah, it's just going to be a fun little opportunity. It's been a good run. Couch Crunchers has been a lot of fun, but it's time to close things up and start a new partnership with our friends over there at Absolute Geek. Well, I guess our friend over there at Absolute Geek. Matt's the only one still there, but anyway.
Well, I said I put that caveat on there. I said I'll join Absolute Geek, but you can't have me and Kyle on the same show. That's just
yeah, man, it's true. Can't handle that, Kyle.
Oh my gosh!
So if you guys haven't actually
found it, the name of the show is My Dead Ex.
Okay, My Dead Ex.
And that was killing me. You should check it out, dude. I have no idea where it's streaming. I have no idea how I watched it, but I watched it and it was good. Oh, it's on Netflix. My Dead Ex. It's very good. Dude, That was killing me, man.
I know you were like freaking out about it.
I hate not remembering stuff. The older I get, the harder it is to remember things. And it drives me nuts, man. If I can't remember something, that's probably my ADHD and my OCD. Is if I can't remember something, I cannot think about anything else until I remember it.
Yeah, I don't have that issue, but I definitely have been more forgetful lately. I can't tell you how many times at work that I was like about to go do something and I'm like, crap, what was I doing? And then I have to like wait 30 seconds while I remember what I was doing. It was just so funny. And then by the time I would remember what I was doing, the systems at work would get slow and then I couldn't do it. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Anyway, I didn't have any other news to go over today. Did you have anything?
No, except next week, Loki.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Excited.
We'll talk Wednesday. I think it'll be good to talk about that when we come back July 2nd. Kind of give our take on those last the what? How many episodes will that be? Three episodes. Half the show will be done by the time we come back on July 2nd. So.
Oh, it's only 6 episodes, huh?
Yeah. I thought it was going to be 10 for some reason, but it's another 6 episoder. Yeah, Kyle says it would be too much awesomeness if him and Lance were on the same show together. Yeah, they're basically the same person, so
the internet would break. The internet would definitely break. But see, Kyle just has to shave his head, and then his awesomeness would just be equal to mine. I think that's the one thing I have over him is that this nice, beautiful, symmetrical scalp.
Oh, okay, really quick, because you mentioned Loki, and we were talking about Handmaid's Tale. They're releasing the same day. What are you watching first?
They are not releasing the same day.
They are, but because they're both coming out on Wednesday. I know. Let's assume that's because Hulu must be cool.
Handmaid's Tale, because my wife will murder me. Okay, we don't watch Handmaid's Tale. Okay. Remember what I was saying? If one of my children was in peril and Handmaid's Tale was on, my wife would take a moment to hesitate. So
fair
Loki is way low on that bar.
There is the fact that Disney Plus shows don't release until like 1 a.m. our time, I think, because they release.
I'll definitely be watching that one Wednesday, which kind of sucks that they're being released Wednesday because, okay, it's double-edged, right? I'm excited that they're released Wednesday because now this gives me a lot more time to consume it when we talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But it was nice when all these shows were released on Friday when I had the Friday off because I'd watch it 2 or 3 times to like get into it and like, you know, actually, but now on a Wednesday when it comes on, I'm going to be working and having it on in the background. So,
well, you'll still have the Friday to watch it then when you have those Fridays off.
I guess
you'll be all right.
I guess. All right, guys. Well, that brings us. We're done, right?
Yeah, we're good.
That brings us to the end of our show. We just want to say that the past, close to 5 years with all you guys has been an absolute pleasure. We appreciate all the experiences you gave us and the love, and most of all, we appreciate all the friends that we've. And you can take that Faberflub thing off. We appreciate all the friends that we've made along the way. The guys from Absolute Geek, the guys from Tales from the Flip Side,
Grizzled Geek, STS guys,
STS guys, all these relationships,
Exposure, all those guys.
Yeah, all these relationships that we've made have been because of this podcast, and we're eternally grateful. But it is time for us to turn a new chapter. We will be joining, Max and myself will be joining Absolute Geek starting July 9th. Our last show is July 2nd. We'll be talking briefly about Fast and the Furious, but I do have one piece of news about that episode. Jay will be coming back for that episode since it's our last one. Yeah, it's been a ride, right?
Family.
Yeah. So that's why our last episode is Fast and the Furious, because we wanted to call it our last ride. So we're still nerds at heart. We say stupid things, and we're both dads now, so we tell dad jokes too. So it's our last ride. Yeah, so man. But we love you guys. So nerds, yeah.
Dorks, geeks,
unite.
Keep on geeking on.
Yeah. But yeah, until next time, keep on geeking on. We love you.